Introduce what you do, what your work is.
I'm a media specialist in a middle school, which means I'm a librarian, and I take care of all the information needs of my school. It's pretty loud in here right now. And I instruct teachers, teach kids, try to make everybody like reading.
And how long have you been a public worker?
I've been a public worker almost since the age of 15 when I started working in a public library. Then I did work for a private college library for a while, but most of my career has been in the public library, so I can't even add it all up, 20 or 30 years.
Alright, and when I was 5 years old, we all moved to Wisconsin from Iowa, and I remember you working overtime sometimes, and I was wondering if you could reflect on the finances of that and trying to raise 3 kids.
I was virtually the only breadwinner, and I applied at school for help with lunch for you kids. I wanted reduced lunch, and after I applied I got the slip back that said we could qualify for free lunch, because as a public librarian I did not make enough money to be considered above poverty line for a family of 5, and that was kind of an eye-opener for me. So I was already underpaid, although I did have some benefits. I had insurance, I had retirement, those kinds of things. Yep, it was pretty important that I have those benefits. There was no union. I was not represented by a union at that time.
Back in the Depression, farmers held the line. When the bank came for an auction, together they'd combine. They knew that when divided, they could never win. But they stood shoulder to shoulder, didn't let the bankers in. They stood shoulder to shoulder, that's how they kept their farms. If one of them was threatened, it was for all to be alarmed. They said this was their land and they'd help each other stay. That's how they kept their farms, that's why the bankers went away. 'Cause the union makes us strong. The union makes us strong. Back in the Depression, there was not enough to eat, but the union of the unemployed was in the driver's seat. If the cops did an eviction, took the bed and put it out, the neighbors would carry it in, sing a song and shout, the union makes us strong. The union makes us strong. I can hear him talking, you've gotta look at the long view. Back in the Depression, almost everybody knew competition was so great, why don't they do it with themselves? Instead of buying off the Congress and ruling by cartel, the union makes us strong. The union makes us strong. During the Depression, people fought and won back then. Now the battle's global and it must be won again. They will try to divide us, but even on the darkest day, when I listen closely, I hear a billion people say, the union makes us strong. The union makes us strong. The union makes us strong. The union makes us strong.
And when did you join a union for the first time, and can you talk about some of the feelings you had around that?
Well, to be honest, I was not very happy about having to join the teachers union. I was essentially in a closed shop, what they call closed shop. I had to pay union dues whether or not I belonged to the union. In other words, if I did not belong to the union, I had to contribute good faith money because the union was negotiating my contract. And in that sense, it just didn't make sense not to belong. So I belonged now for 11 years to the teachers union. Have never been asked to do anything that I did not want to do. And even when this incident came about with the budget repair bill, it was very much emphasized that we were to act our conscience. So I appreciated not being pressured by the union, which is one of my what I want to say, misgivings about unions, is some of the pressure they put on their members to do things. But this whole action here in Wisconsin right now is totally different. It's very much voluntary.
What sort of experiences have you gained from being here at the Capitol, and what things have impressed you the most? What are some of the strongest memories you'll keep from this experience?
Well, probably my strongest memories will be from the first night I was here. It was a little bit foggy. We were outside to begin with, and there were many, many, many people here with their children. It was all very peaceful, which continues to impress me the most, is how peaceful everything is. And the law enforcement is also being respectful of us, which helps a lot. I think another lasting impression is the way so many different facets of our society are coming together in support of this action.
Hi, I'm Joel Greeno, dairy farmer from Kendall, Wisconsin. I'm national president of the American Raw Milk Producers Pricing Association. I serve as vice president of the Family Farm Defenders and serve on the executive committee of the National Family Farm Coalition. And we're here today in solidarity with our fellow teachers, workers, and their unions, and to let them know that as farmers we stand behind them and support them, that this is all about community building and sustainability. We all know the harm that this bill and the current budget proposals will do to our local schools, our local rural communities, and our rural churches. And it's only through community building and support of one another that the farmers of this country and that are the true source of wealth. And until we go back to that and support our farmers and our small communities and our workers, we won't overcome our budget crisis, we won't overcome our problems. And on the issue of collective bargaining, 80% of our nation's dairy farmers market their milk through co-ops. And co-ops use collective bargaining to establish prices for its co-op members. And so to lose collective bargainings for our teachers and workers and their unions is a hit on the collective bargaining practices of our co-ops. So for that, we are here to stand with our fellow workers in solidarity.
Can you explain what's all going on out here, like what you're doing?
Sure. I'm a metalsmith, trained as a metalsmith. Teresa here is my professor from undergrad. She taught me how to do this. I'm a graduate student in the Masters of Fine Arts program and the art department
here at UW.
And at the art department, you know, we're always talking and thinking about, you know, what we can do and how we can contribute. But as a metalsmith, you know, how do our skills translate to the street? Well, I just had to put my bench on casters and bring it out here. So, you know, basically we're trying to represent and honor the kind of skills and the kind of people that are being forsaken and forgotten here. So.
And what kind of keys are you making?
Time I've ever been locked out of my capital. This is unprecedented.
All around the state, people are making politicians think that something special is happening here in Madison and in every small town, every city, every village around the state. They know that it's real.
We have to fight for all the vulnerable citizens in this state who are going to be screwed over.
We will stay here, we will be resilient, and we will get our house back.
You can say that it's about the savages. You can say you have a better way to live. You can call it manifest destiny. You can talk of all your civilization will give. You can say that we're a thing of history, and progress is the future you will bring. You can send your armies to these mountains. You can say we'll prosper beneath your king. But there will always be resistance. The next battle will always be near. As long as you have everything, there will be those who have nothing to fear. And little by little, or maybe all at once, you will lose. Because our future is not yours to choose. can say you've got to stop the communists. You can say that our ideals can't succeed. You can say that competition is the only way, and a global system based on greed. You can call yourself a Democrat. You can call yourself whatever you will. You can keep on stamping out the fires you start, so you might stay on top of the hill. But there will always be resistance. The next battle will always be near. As long as you have everything, there will be those who have nothing to fear. And little by little, or maybe all at once, you will lose, because our future is not yours to choose. You can say that all of us are terrorists, madmen bent on destroying all that's free. You can say that we are building weapons as your bombers fly from sea to bloody sea. You can say you're with us or against us, and to die quietly is what we now must do. You can maintain your innocence. You can say that you are many as you represent the few. There will always be resistance. The next battle will always be near. As long as you have everything, there will be those who have nothing to fear. And little by little, or maybe all at once, you will lose, because our future is not yours to choose.
The hunt's still on for 14 Wisconsin lawmakers, still nowhere to be found. It's FBN's Jeff Flock in the thick of it in Madison, Wisconsin. Jeff, we're hearing these senators could stay in hiding for weeks. I certainly hope that they're able to accumulate a few hotel frequent stay points during their time away. What are you hearing?
Well, you know, you say they're in hiding. They're not really in hiding. We kind of know where they are. They're in Illinois for the most part. They are just at this point wanting to make sure that this bill does not come to the floor in the Senate. However, in the House, we have learned that in 5 minutes, this is Fox Business Network, just FYI. At 5 o'clock, the bill will come to the floor in the House. That means that they potentially could consider the bill, but what we believe the Democratic legislators in the House to do is to, when it comes to the floor, amend the bill on multiple occasions such that they would head off a vote. I want to show you, they got balloons headed up here into the beautiful Capitol Rotunda as this protest shows no signs of abating. Everyone making their viewpoints known. It's always a fun time as democracy plays its way out.
Well, I tell you, Jeff, those folks protesting Fox, I'm wondering if they would prefer a state-run television network providing all the coverage. But they should know that we invited teachers' union reps to come onto this program, and they literally refused to appear on this show. So we're giving them a forum, and they don't want to take us up on that forum.
You know, I will say this, to be very honest with you, most of the protesters, despite this gentleman here, most of the people have been fairly reasoned, calm, and willing to talk because, as you know, we have done our best to give everybody a voice here. Despite this guy, do you have an opinion other than that?
Clear blue sky. A couple days ago, I got a letter from one of the principal organizers of the protests in Cairo, and he wanted me to read this to you people here in Madison when we came, so I'd like to read it to you now. All right. This is from Amor Elatrebi, one of the chief organizers of the protests in Tahrir Square in Cairo, Egypt. He says, "To our friends in Madison, Wisconsin, we wish you could see firsthand the change we have made here. Justice is beautiful, but justice is never free. The beauty in Tahrir Square you can have everywhere, on any corner, in your city, or in your heart. So hold on tightly and don't let go, and breathe deep, Wisconsin, for our good fortune is on the breeze in the Midwest and in the Middle East. Breathe deep, Wisconsin, because justice is in the air, and may the spirit of Tahrir Square be in every beating heart in Madison, Wisconsin. Madison, I got good news. The whole world's watching, and we're winning. Here we go. I was born here and I'll die here. You can't drive me away. Freedom's train has left the station and it's pulling in today. We won't be coming home tonight, love. The fight has just begun. Raise your voices all together. Governor Walker, here we come. Hey. Worldwide rebel song. Sing out loud all night long. Hang on, man, it won't be long. Worldwide rebel song. Sing worldwide rebel song. Sing out loud all night long. Hang on, man, it won't be long. Worldwide rebel song. Thank you very much. Never give up, never give in. Take it easy, but take it.
Oh my God! Joseph, come in!
And it's going into the assembly tomorrow morning, and everyone's chanting now to occupy and general strike.
Session is over. The building is closing. So we need to start filing downstairs. Thank you.
So everyone is being asked to leave.
This level is closed. The session is over. Please be respectful and file downstairs. Thank you. Session is over. The building is closing. So we need to start filing downstairs. Thank you.
So everyone is being asked to leave.
This level is closed. The session is over. Please be respectful and file downstairs. Thank you.
construction of the state that I love and that I moved here to be part of, and a crucial part of its history and its present life and its future. It's all being taken away.
And what do you think about the idea of a general strike?
I think a general strike is a really hard thing to coordinate, and I'm not sure what people mean by it. If it means get masses of people to occasionally engage in targeted symbolic protest, I'm all for it.
Because we don't know if they're going to let anyone in. Regardless of if it's unconstitutional necessity. And I don't know who this man is.
This means if this bill passes, this is the means to me that my freedom is being taken away. The freedom for all the people, whether they work for unions, whether they're private sector workers, business people. This is just the beginning of corporate takeover in the United States, and this means devastation to me.
And what are you willing to do about it?
I'm willing to lay my life on the line for it, actually.
Would you spend the night here?
Yes, I will. I ran out of my house tonight. I didn't bring my ID. I didn't bring anything metal. I didn't bring money. I didn't even bring a hat and gloves. I just ran out when I saw the news flash, and without thinking. And I will stay here as long as it takes.
So people are now giving instructions about how to occupy the assembly.
We're sitting here doing a webcast. The time is now about 12:30. The Capitol is obviously closed. At this point, they're not really doing anything unconstitutional because it would normally be closed at this time, so not letting people in isn't quite unconstitutional, but that does not make up for the fact that we had a completely unconstitutional day today. Continuing to cover the footage from the inside. A new development, the White House server blocked all of our websites. Here we go. There's some drums in the middle and some more people sleeping as we head through. As you can see, there's people sleeping in all the corridors as well. This is just the way it is. I don't know how they managed to get so many sleeping bags and whatnot, but they did, so that's good. It's Tuesday. Well, now it's Wednesday, I guess, since it's past midnight. The majority of officers on the ground floor, I would say about 80% of officers on the ground floor are State Patrol. The situation goes, thank you all for calling into the Capitol Police. Thank you for berating the Capitol Police with phone calls, because that did help. We managed to get food in. They allowed hot food in, and they allowed some of the restaurants, including Pizza Extreme and Ian's, to deliver after that.
Can't stand the news. It's always the same old song, another corporate scam. Another story of bad gone wrong, another corporate bailout, another piece of the pie. It's the best democracy money can buy. They rig the elections, and only millionaires can play, and you gotta be cynical. You gotta look into the camera and say, I'm serving the public, when you know it's a corporate lie. But it's the best democracy money can buy. Yeah, there they go, fighting for oil, 'cause they're the prophets lie beneath that foreign soil. They don't know what they'll do when the wells run dry, but it's the best democracy money can buy. They're patenting life, selling our genes. They would patent oxygen if they had get the means, they'll patent their drugs. Some will get you high, and it's the best democracy money can buy. They're filling the prisons, their latest industry, which lines their pockets. Helps us all be free, 'cause you gotta do something with the unemployed if they won't move to Shanghai. And it's the best democracy money can buy. We've got 2 parties, maybe someday we'll have 3. Maybe Tweedledum or Tweedledum and Tweedledee. But one thing's fairly certain, it won't be you or I, 'cause it's the best democracy money can buy. When it's finished and they finally achieve the most corporate dollarocracy that could ever be believed, the Martians will come to visit our graves, and when they go back to the sky, they'll say it was the best democracy money could buy. It was the best democracy money could buy. Was the best democracy money could buy.